Happy Tuesday, Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. Dean Curley, the freshman shortstop, have a night, my man. Tennessee rolls tonight, 15-5. This was a game I looked at when I previewed. I said this could be a fun one, one that could be high scoring for both teams. Um, it was high scoring. There was a lot of fireworks. Now, a lot of fun to watch. Tennessee went dark mode tonight. Got to break out the old new dark mode hat here. Doesn't have the logo like they have here. So I don't know what kind of knockoff this is. It came from Alumni Hall online. So I don't know what's up with the logo here, but still pretty cool stuff they have with the dark mode. Uniforms look good. Tennessee, they wear those a bit warm last year in the tournament some. They normally play pretty good ball in, but man, what a fun night this was. And a lot of positives for me tonight. The first one, I have to hit it. Dean Curley, man, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs, and I thought he missed home run number 4 by what, 3 feet, maybe? I thought when he hit it, I was like, "Oh my gosh, he's done it." But what a showcase for him tonight. And I talked about him. His average coming into this game was around, I think, 270 something. So it kind of fluctuated down. But the thing with him is he has on the year, he has about half the at bats that other guys do. He only has 23 at bats for the year. So his average tonight went all the way from like 270. I can't remember exactly what it was before the game, but it's 348 now. His OPS is the highest on the team at 1.684. His on base percentage, 467. Slugging percentage, highest on the team. So at this point, he's second in home runs with 6, and he's second in RBIs with 17. And again, that's about half the at bats of your, Billy Amick leads the team with 50 at bats. Burke has 49. Christian Moore has 47 on it. So what this freshman's done, I mean, I talked about when I previewed the team in the preseason, and they talked about how Ariel Antigua, fellow freshman out of Florida, how kind of seemed like he was in line to be the starter, but he had an unfortunate injury. Curley was hurt the first weekend, not really ready to go, so they shifted Christian Moore over to short, Bradkey Laurie at second. I mean, Laurie had his chance and he didn't get the job done. So when they come back midweek, Dean Curley played and he hasn't looked back. And, it's not always perfect at the plate, but there's a lot of potential here. There's a lot of potential. This dude, I think they said it on the telecast, ranked maybe the 33rd shortstop. According to Perfect Game, he was ranked in the top 150 coming in. He's out of California. I liked everything that I had seen about him coming in. Just his build, his arm, his just his scouting report looked good as the type of player he is. And this looks like a guy now, man. If you're Ariel Antigua next year, I mean, you're gonna have Christian Moore gone. So that second base spot, ever how they decide to go with that, could Curley go there? Could Curley go to third? I mean, because Billy Amick's gonna be gone as well. So you're gonna need a third baseman. And I still don't see Zane Denton coming back. I know it's been mentioned he could possibly. I just don't see it. If he's not playing this year, I don't see him coming back next year because he would have to be about close to 25 years old. I'm thinking at this point Denton is probably done with as far as college baseball goes. Maybe he goes and plays some kind of pro league or something possibly, but I don't see it there. So I mean, Curley could shift to third. He can play some outfield. That was in the scouting report as well. So, it depends, but he plays a good shortstop too. He has a really good arm. He does have that build where he could play third. He kind of reminds me a little bit of an Alex Rodriguez build to an extent. You just think in this strength program, how much stronger and stuff he's going to get. But a lot of positives for me tonight. First inning, not so much. Tennessee got down 2-0, and Aaron Combs' problem, he was having trouble throwing strikes, but he still had 3. He struck out the side, but he hit a little stretch where he had trouble throwing strikes. And then when he did, he was grooving it, and Kansas State was base hitting it for him. Then he had just a bad pickoff move that enabled the runners at first and second to move up. And then the next, the guy at bat in one of the next couple pitches, I can't remember if it's the next pitch or a couple pitches later, lines one up the middle that scores both runs. But pitching was meh. tonight. Not great, not great, not bad, not great. A lot they can work on tonight. The biggest thing right now with some of these guys is walks. They've got to fix the walks, but I'll get around to that here in a minute. Let's get into the lineup tonight. Christian Moore 2 for 4 with a home run, a walk, one RBI, one run scored. Blake Burke 2 for 5, two doubles. The negative for me, he had 3 strikeouts tonight. That's he'd been pretty good about that, but he got back to 3 strikeouts. But he still did some good hitting. Went the other way, hit the ball hard the other way a couple times. He had one RBI tonight. Billy Amick hit another monster bomb tonight. He went 2 for 5 with an RBI. He had a home run, 2 runs scored. Kavaris Tears 1 for 4, one walk. He did have 2 strikeouts. Robin Villeneuve 1 for 4 with an RBI. He had 2 strikeouts as well. That was Tennessee 7 strikeouts was between those 3 guys. Let's see. Ariel Antigua, he did come in tonight. Actually, I talked about him a little bit earlier. He did come in later in the game, and he did play short, and Curley went to third. So that was late in the game when that happened. Dalton Bargo pitch hit, went 0 for 1. He hit one back to the pitcher. I kind of laughed because he was ticked when as soon as he hit it, you could tell he wasn't happy. Cannon Peebles again tonight, 2 for 2. He had a double. He had 2 walks. He had 3 runs scored. He has raised his average up to 361 now, and he was down. He was down to low 200s, even under 200 at one point, and now he's brought his average up close to, we'll say at least about 150, 175 points. Swinging a good bat right now. Laurie did pinch hit for him or pinch run for him later on, scored a run. Then Cal Start come in, went 0 for 1. Cal Start, man, he's had some good swings this year, I think, and not had the luck so far. I mean, his average it's 167, but I really feel he's had some good swings. It just hasn't worked out. Colby Backus, Dylan Dreiling, 2 for 4, another good night swinging for him. He had another home run. Good piece of hitting, too, off a lefty. He's supposed to be a good hit left-hander for Kansas State. It was preseason, all Big 12, and they did throw. I suspected that they may throw him based on what I saw from the weekend he threw Friday. Kansas State's pitcher tonight. What was his name? I lost it here. Barima. Can't remember. Barima. I can't remember how they pronounced it exactly, but I mean, he's not had a great year, Barima. Of course, he got lit up tonight pretty hard. But yeah, coming into this game, this guy was considered preseason all Big 12. And a left-hander. Left-handers have given Tennessee trouble in the past. I like the lineup Tony Vitello went with tonight. It was almost the perfect lineup that he went with tonight. And, just a really good night swinging the bats for them. Like I said, Dreiling 2 for 4. That was big for him. He's last few games, I mean, his average is up to 341, swinging a really good bat. He's got a couple of home runs in that stretch. Backus went 0 for 1. And already talked about Curley, 3 for 5, 3 runs, 9 RBIs, 3 home runs. He was 3 feet away from becoming the first player in Tennessee baseball history to hit 4 home runs in a game. Here's the one I like to put him on the cover because I've said it's time this guy's going to have to hit or he's going to be out. Hunter Inslee went 2 for 3. He had a double. He had a run scored. He had a hit by pitch. His one he got out on, he hit a seed to third base. Third baseman knocked it down, threw him out at first. Good night for him. He swung a really good bat tonight, and I thought that was big for him. He did bring his average up to 263. He's been hovering around 200, had it around 227, 229, brought it up to 263 tonight. So his bat's starting to come around as well, and especially you have a guy down hitting in that 9th spot, that bottom of the order with Curley and Inslee doing that damage. This is a really good lineup. This is a powerful, strong lineup. And, if it's not Inslee in there, you're probably going to see Bargo in. So many combinations. And the good thing about it is they have so many guys in this lineup that they can put in that are just swinging good bats, having good swings. This is a much better lineup than last year. I don't know that it'll be the lineup it was 2 years ago. That remains to be seen. But I'll tell you what, I believe this lineup can give the one from 2 years ago a run for their money. I'm not saying, they'll be better by any means. That was one of those kind of once in a lifetime lineup, more or less. But this is going to be a really good lineup when it's all said and done. And they're hitting well. I mean, we'll see. You've got Southern Indiana Wednesday. You got Illinois this weekend. Illinois, I think, it's a decent team. I'll have to look a little bit more into that when I preview them for this weekend. But then you get in Alabama. You've got your midweek games next week, and then Alabama. Alabama's a good baseball team. They're going to have to bring it when they go down to Tuscaloosa here in 2 weekends, St. Patrick's Day weekend. But how can you not be encouraged? Like I said, I come into this game expecting a good game tonight. This offense, man, lit them up. Barima, like I said, he's supposed to be a good pitcher, and they lit him up. They lit him up tonight. That was very encouraging to me. Now, is he SEC quality? I don't know, but you got to take what's there, and they did that tonight. Shifting over to the let's see, shifting over to the pitching here tonight. So didn't want to look to fielding. So Combs had the one error on the pickoff, and it wasn't even a good pickoff attempt. Threw it into center field, and then Blake Burke, Peebles had the guy picked off at first base. They gave Burke the error, and the reaction Burke had seemed to me like he thought he should have had it. Wasn't a perfect throw, but I think that's one of, I think it would have been a tough play as well because he's on the move. If he had been set, that's probably one with him being a left-hander, he easily picks that. But on the move, that's a tough. So I don't know. That's a tough error for me on Burke. I think that could have went either way. But at the same time, I mean, Peebles put it where you want him to put it. He put it right on the money. So don't know if it's a case of Burke didn't get over or what, but I would venture to say if you ask Burke, he'll say he should have had that one. But Tony Vitello pulled the I was assuming Snead would pitch tonight. He actually started with Aaron Combs tonight. 2 innings, 49 pitches in 2 innings, 2 runs, 1 earned, 3 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. That was the biggest thing that got Combs in trouble, I think, was the walks. He dealt with a little bit of control issues. Pitched a pretty good second inning. First inning was a little rocky. Settled down. Snead come in through 4 innings, 64 pitches. He gave up 2 runs, 4 hits. His problem, again, same as Combs, 3 walks. They had 7 walks tonight, and that's something Tennessee really needs to fix. They've got some guys who's getting a little bit of the yips when it comes to the walks. So, Andrew Banky come in, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. He gave up a run tonight. Gave up a home run tonight in 2 innings pitched, and then Dylan Lloyd come in, pitched 1 inning. He had 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. He didn't give up any runs, though. So, so for the year, Combs is setting at a 5.68 ERA, Snead 3.21, Banky 2.57, and Lloyd still at a 0.0. I think as you move forward with Lloyd, the biggest thing for him and thing with Banky, too, both of them being left-handers, if they're throwing strikes, if they're not walking guys, Lloyd walked guys tonight. But, other than that, if they're getting the ball across, it's going to be, they could factor into the weekends moving forward. Combs and Snead, I think, will still be factors on the weekends. I still could see them factoring in on Sundays, but I'm kind of looking at both of those guys as closer type dudes. Maybe a Marcus Phillips moves into that role as well. I think that Sunday starter, they're still going to have to get that one, or do they just go bullpen games? Guys that give them 3 or 4 innings. But good night for Tennessee baseball. Almost a record-setting night by Dean Curley. Like I said, 3 feet from being a record-setting night for him. But a lot of fun to watch tonight. This team's going to be a lot of fun to watch this year. This team's going to be a force to be reckoned with, especially if they get all their pitching. I still think the pitching, I think by the end of the year, the pitching will be at its best. But I think it's a little suspect just with the walks right now. Little suspect with still questions on A.J. Russell. I really think probably where you're going is A.J. Russell, A.J. Causey, Drew Beam, not in that particular order as your weekend starters. That's where I'm seeing it going. The way Causey's throwing, he's looking like a guy that wants to be in the rotation. Friday night guy last year in Jacksonville State. But just kind of preview, I'm not going to be doing a post game tomorrow night because the basketball game will be going on. I will be going live directly after the basketball game tomorrow night I'm getting ready to record here in a minute. Keys to victory for the basketball game. I'll upload it in the morning. So hopefully you'll tune into that. But I hope to see you guys tomorrow night. And as always, Frank Rock, House of Orange. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. As always, we'll conclude this thing with go Dean Curley and go Vols.